Alrighty then, everyone. Welcome to another session of Mistwalkers Spectrum of Eternity. I am your most humble DM, Lily Faywood, and we are here for, this is episode 6. I really should check before these sessions start. I'm 90% sure it's episode 6.
We'll edit it out in post.
We'll edit it out in post, of course. But I mean, I totally won't. Anyways, very excited to be here for another session. Got a lot of cool things planned today, so looking forward to getting right into that. And as we get right into that, I would like to introduce our players as per usual. So first up, we have Yulia. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Yulia. I go by RoyalKnightVT on various socials. Not too much things, but things soon, maybe. It's summer coming up, so really excited about that. But in the meantime, I play D&D with these wonderful individuals, and I play our resident cleric, Kloven. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll move right on to Meris. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Why, certainly. Hello, everyone. I'm MerisAurum. I'm a celestial dragon VTuber. I specialize in storytelling streams where we talk all things books and literature. I also run my own D&D homebrew campaign called The Trial of Hearts. It's an ode to all things romantic fantasy, so if you like drama, romance, shenanigans, and just a touch of mystery and political intrigue, we play that on my channel every other Wednesday, and it's a fabulous time. But while I'm here, I play the one, the only, the Sewer King. Our party's fighter of indeterminate subclass. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Next up, we have Sif. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you for the mic. Hi, it's me, Sif_VTuber, real last night. I play games, I do art on my channel. Nothing really exciting yet. I run across Strahd. That'll be on hiatus for a bit, so you can use the time to catch up on all the VODs that I haven't uploaded. But yeah, that's me. I'm here to play as Tate. I'm Dirt Man. I have the dirt.
With a new PNG done by yourself.
Oh yeah, that's right. I look. This is how Tate looked the whole time when I wasn't updating his PNG after he ate the my approved HRT. Thank you.
My approved HRT. Perfect. Alright, next up, Aster. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aster Varatolis. I am a Dark Lord, evil wizard, aspiring voice actor, and talker about tabletop games. And on this game, I play the wonderful artificer / future thing of spoilerific origins, Thaddeus. And you can find me on Blue Sky and Twitch at ArchmagesTower. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm coming back soon.
Thank you very much. And as we sort of look to kick off, I want to just give a ever necessary, very special shout out to Daelyope for doing so much art for this campaign. We are going to be featuring a lot of his work in the coming session. I'm very excited for that. We will call it out whenever it comes, but I just kind of wanted to give a special shout out to him as a thank you for his endless love and care for this campaign. It really means a lot to me. As someone that just kind of started running this and just was happy that people are enjoying it. So thank you again, Day. Please go follow him on Blue Sky.
Thank you.
Alrighty though. I think that's going to do it for intros. I guess I never really gave myself a proper intro. I'm an artist and D&D lover. If you like any of that stuff, my socials are Blue Sky and Tumblr. Thank you. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the little bit of recap for the previous episode. First,
Ilya.
Oh yeah, I did kind of jump into Ilya's voice, didn't I? So last time on Mistwalkers Spectrum of Eternity, we had a nice little bit of downtime before the party steeled themselves to head on into the mist. during this downtime, we had a few discussions where SK and Tate kind of just talked about, gosh, it's been so long. They talked about, I think, just like generally, being here, getting along, and just moving forward in general. Is that about right?
Yeah, and don't be mean to
Mhm.
Kloven.
And don't be mean to Kloven, of course. He's too pretty to be mean to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This transitioned naturally into SK and Kloven talking about SK resolving to being nicer to Kloven. They had a nice little chat just about their personal differences and how they are going to continue on before SK left feeling a little something of, God damn it, he is hot towards Kloven.
It's just not fair.
It's just not
No,
fair.
it's
You're
really not.
beautiful, SK.
Kloven, you're just not fair, man.
They proceeded to kind of just continue the downtime as watches began, and during the first watch, Thaddeus and Anti had a long discussion about just curiosity, technology, and what is out there in the mist. Thaddeus found himself asking a lot of questions about what all they know, but overall was remotely dismissive of revealing too terribly much. The players then entered the mist proper, and in doing so, they spent a few days just sort of meandering through it slowly with the aid of Anti's mist containment field, and killing a few mist wraiths here along the way, but overall having a remotely, obviously you can't have a pleasant time in the mist, but it was less violent and less immediately endangering than perhaps they had expected. During the final night of their travels through the mist, however, SK and Tate, I believe it was, were having another just quick chit chat while doing watches, and proceeded to be jump scared by a horrifying spider monstrosity. Upon waking everybody up, they were able to handle the spider abomination with relative ease, taking a few hits here and there, but as it fell and as its cry rang out, they found themselves having alerted what sounded to be a massive horde of mist wraiths. After a bit of time for preparation, they were able to fight them all off, and killing 50 of them in the process, taking a deep breath, mending some wounds, and then saying, well, we better keep on going. And finally, after they finished their journey, they found themselves finding essentially a large wall with a door in the center of it. Going through the door, they found it was some sort of decompression zone that kind of floofed them up with a bit of air, and entering into a more technologically advanced area than perhaps any of them had ever seen. At the center was a display that read the single words of call transport, and we left them off there in this fascinating and highly technical world. So now that we find ourselves here, I would like to give you guys a bit of time to just kind of chit-chat and sort of decompress now that you seem to have found your way into at least some part of the grander facility of Kenril.
So, were you all expecting this on the other side, or am I normal to be a little shocked right now?
This is certainly new. Does anyone know what any of this is?
It looks rather technologically similar to the bunker we stayed at. Some similar gadgetry. Buttons, knobs, screens.
That seems to be
Thaddeus?
your area of expertise, Thaddeus.
Everyone looks at Thaddeus the moment SK says technological.
Listen. I know my way around machines. This, well, it's beyond most things I was working on with Gillian. But if you want me to, I can give it a try.
Yeah, sure. Give it a few whacks. I mean, I think...
I feel like if I
Probably-
gave it a few whacks, something would break and we would never get in.
What's this
I
about a
think-
transport, it says?
Hmm.
Well, I'd wager it's something similar to those wagons you and the rest of the planters bring around town, Tate.
Well, this place looks big. Having another one of those wouldn't be so bad. Also, yeah, I mean, this place looks well fortified. Do you think we could maybe see if we could find other people?
Well, we could, on foot, but if this works out, maybe calling a transport would get us around town faster.
If I...
Speaking, I was just going to say, speaking of fortification, before we traverse down a unknown path, perhaps it might be prudent to rest where we know there are 4 walls surrounding us.
You read my mind exactly, Super King. I was about to recommend the same myself, considering I believe some of you are still weaning off some injuries and some expended energy. Am I wrong?
Certainly wouldn't be wrong about that. I assume a good night's rest would, or at least a little bit of rest would help us all.
Indeed. It's hard to tell exactly what time it is here, but... I mean, we spent a good 5 or so hours walking after such a rude awakening. I think we could all use a bit of it. I'm not about to head into an unknown situation without us all at our best. It is inadvisable.
Alright, let's set up then. But, maybe it wouldn't hurt to take a little bit of a look around just to make sure there's nothing creeping right outside these 4 walls, yeah?
Oh,
Not a bad
Agreed.
idea.
absolutely.
Seeing as I am, and he kind of stands a little straighter and preens a little bit, mostly uninjured after the encounter, I certainly don't mind taking first watch.
I find myself in a similar state, so perhaps I shall join you for that.
If you think it necessary.
I do trust you, at least in terms of battle, but perhaps there would be a good thing to actually get to know you a bit better so I can trust you with more than just combat capabilities, Super King.
He kind of wrinkles his nose at that, but gives like this kind of smarmy smile, just, of course.
Well, that's nice that we're all trying to get along. He smiles at SK.
Just
Wow.
stares at you.
I certainly don't mind a little bit of beauty sleep then.
Please, Kloven. We're on the front lines. Took some blows for us. It's appreciated, as always.
Of course. I'll always protect you. Okay. Well, you two have a fun chat.
Alright. Thaddeus, do you still want to look around at the technology in the area, or do you want to save that for in the morning?
I mean, Thaddeus is not going to be able to keep his hands off of this. He's never seen technology like this before, and he wants to find out what it's about.
Okay, and what are you looking at specifically?
I'm going to see if I can find out how the apparatus works, what the buttons do, and what it can do for us specifically.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
You got it. Let's figure out how good Thaddeus is at figuring out technology. That's a 6. That is a nat 1, baby!
Let's go!
Good start. Good start.
The tech guy rolls a nat 1 on checking tech. What a shame. I'll give you something. I'm not that heartless. It's mostly intuitive, but you kind of just tap around the like highlighted area of the screen that says, I'm gonna use like, the proper terms here, but just you roleplay as if you don't know everything about how computers work. You see like the area around the highlighted button that says call transport. As you kind of just like tap your fingers along it, you can see that there's a noticeable like reaction to your fingers touching it. Like there's like a little like spark, not like a electricity spark, but just like a little like acknowledgement that you tapped your finger where it was. And noticing that there's like also a back, like an arrow pointing backwards. You can kind of assume that there's probably a little bit more to it, but just kind of seeing how things change just at the touch of a finger, you kind of are like, maybe we let this go for at least for now. I don't want to cause any problems.
You know, I was right. This is a bit beyond my scope at the moment. Julian, I have much to learn from you.
All right. You gonna head to bed after that, or is there anything else specifically that you wanted to look into?
No, Thaddeus is grumpy. He's going to bed.
Fair enough.
He doesn't like not knowing things.
Yeah. All right. Then we'll go ahead and head into the Adamar and SK conversation. So, well, I'll help set the scene a little bit here, Meris. Of just you can kind of see Thaddeus, Adamar, is currently sitting down just sort of near the tracks at the center of the area, and is just kind of checking through each of his different arrows. You can see him like kind of like with a sharpening stone, like sharpening the heads of each of them, cleaning them off of any of them that got lodged into a mist monster of some variety, just getting that ichor off of it, and just overall just performing maintenance on everything that he's doing, or that he has.
I think Sewer King will move to sit down next to him, but not like too close, but just in close proximity, because he feels like that's what he ought to do when they're keeping watch together. And so he'll just kind of quietly observe him for a while, and not really know what to do with himself. So he's kind of just like idly like looking at himself and sort of kind of preening a little bit, like peeling off like all of his own like ichor and like general grossness like off of like his hands and his claws and his own little quiet maintenance.
Yeah. Imagine Adamar just looks over at you and just says, "You seem to be quite the interesting individual, Sewer King, if you don't mind me saying."
I don't mind that at all, for it's perfectly correct.
Oh. You seem to have quite the strange charm about you, too. Confidence, and one such as yourself that is so different, is unusual, but I respect that in a way.
Gives a big, fangy grin, and just, well, I recognize the competencies I possess and their usefulness. After all, I have designed myself in such a way as to be, well, the best at surviving.
Pardon me for asking, but designed yourself? What does that mean?
Adaption. After all, people are remarkably adaptable. I learn, I grow, I develop, just at a, far faster rate than any of you.
Indeed, your adaptation rate would be far from what I believe many would consider normal.
I assure you, I am nothing if not perfectly normal. Well, not perfectly normal, only normal can be normal, but I am, suppose, as normal as any man can be.
Normal? Besides the point. So you seem to be able to change shape at will, is that correct? Is that how you're able to hunt down all of those chickens?
He sort of tilts his head up at that, so he looks down at Adamar over his crooked nose and just... I never said that. But, yes, to an extent. So long as it is within the realm of possibility. I don't have... Well, nature itself is quite the catalogue of life. I have only a very small one in comparison.
Far from me to be imprudent, but I have a question then. If you were to want to, per se, change your leg to be something else, could you just do that? Is that among your capabilities? I'm sorry, people changed by the mist are still quite a bit of a mystery to me.
He has that easy grin on his face again, and he rolls up his pant leg, and you can see that his right leg is largely scaled, much like the one side of his face and his arm. But he just kind of leans back and makes himself comfortable, and Adamar can see the scales, like, get sucked back into his skin, and the skin breaks apart, follicle by follicle, and suddenly fur starts to grow instead. This goldenish brown shade of fur. Most useful for the colder weather.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
What I wouldn't have given to be able to change my body at will when I was younger.
Oh?
It's nothing of your concern.
No, I suppose not. It is useful, but I work very hard for it. Maintenance is such a chore.
Maintaining bodies in general can be a very large chore.
Now, as for you, Mr. Captain of the Guard, I have questions for you as well.
Please, by all means.
You see, I've been observing the stocks for some time, and I have to say, while people certainly respect what you do, they admire your efforts of protection, maintaining peace. It seems though, well, not to put too fine a point on it, I hope you don't think this rude, but people don't seem to like you very much.
Just
Why
like
not make more?
very deep
Well-
sigh.
Why not make more of an effort to be personable? I mean, well, you are working with Kloven.
Yes, indeed. Kloven is rather the pretty face that people are more interested in appeasing than myself. You are not wrong there. However, it's not exactly something that I don't need people to like me. I need people to respect me. At least in that situation. So, yes, I suppose I could go about and make myself pleasant, but A, that is not who I am, and B, it's just not necessary. I don't need people to like me. I just need to make sure that they stay safe. And while, yes, it has garnered me a few people that don't seem to like me very much, the town has been safe for some 20 years since I took over maintenance of the guard. And that is something I'm very proud of. Not soft. I'm competent. That's what matters to me.
So you truly value the well-being of everybody else.
Of course. That is what the captain must do.
Kind of furrows his brow a little bit at that and shakes his head. Hardly what I call good survival instincts, Captain.
No? How so?
Well, if you care about everyone else, who cares about you?
I do not. Well, I have people that care about me. I'm sure of that. But if you're asking who fills my cup, then I suppose I fill my own cup. Its own
But how
reward.
can you fill your own cup if you're busy filling everybody else's? There'll be nothing left.
Sewer King, this is not the conversation I would have expected you to have. Who fills your cup? I'll turn the question on you.
He gives a big smile and he goes, myself.
Oh, so you're not much different than me in that way, then.
Nonsense. I care about myself above all others. That's how I've lived this long.
Fair enough.
I would recommend, perhaps, some of that advice to you, Captain. I don't doubt that you have good intentions, and I think that you would foolishly sacrifice yourself for the good of anybody here. But there's no shame in surviving another day.
Sewer King, how long have you been alive?
He opens his mouth like he's about to answer right away, like he knows, but then he shuts his mouth again. And for a moment, his, eyes look kind of glossy, like he's briefly disassociating. And then he shakes his head and just, I don't know. Isn't that odd? I imagine it's been a long time, though.
You don't know.
Not exactly.
Well, not knowing rather does put a damper on the point I was about to make, considering I've lived for 70 years. But strange.
70 years.
Indeed.
For your kind.
I am an elf.
You do need more sleep. Your complexion is wretched.
More sleep. I only need 4 hours, I assure you, in a trance-like state.
Perhaps you should double it.
Just gives you this glare. Listen, I know I don't take care of myself as perhaps well I should. But coming from you, it does feel a little bit more pointed, considering how different you are.
Gives another big smile and just... Yes, well... I may have many odd quirks about my physical form, Captain. But, as you can see, dark circles are not among them.
Just looks at you. Well, I suppose you have me there, Sewer King.
If you like, I don't mind staying up a little longer, if you would like to get in those extra hours.
He just looks at you just like, oh please, stop being a catty bitch to me.
Gives a big smile.
I suppose I could be convinced to let you take the rest of our section of the watch. Please, though, do be sure to get up Thaddeus and Anti. Though I'm sure Anti is already awake. Anti just perks up. Affirmative, I am.
Not your turn yet, Anti.
Acknowledged. I appreciate the talk.
Of course.
Even if you seem to find it necessary to sass me at most turns.
All out of the goodness of my heart, I assure you. For what it's worth, I think you're a very valuable member of our motley crew.
As are you, Sir King. I am glad that you came. You have been proven invaluable to us.
Invaluable, you say?
Indeed.
High praise. Thank you.
Don't forget your beauty sleep. I wouldn't want to have you. I wouldn't want to cause you your first wrinkle.
It would be a shame, wouldn't it?
Good night.
Good night.
He'll go over to the general sleeping area and get himself settled in and enter his trance state.
The King will make himself comfortable and just keep an eye on the door, occasionally looking to everybody else sleeping, just keeping an eye on things. Looks very content.
Voice is just gonna kind of perk into your mind a little bit. And it just, you can just hear it kind of do a little chuckle. And you feel a smile.
I think I'm doing all right.
There's a humming in your ear. Same joyful humming as usual. Alright. The rest of your watch will go by uneventfully. Also, did I say Thaddeus and Anti? I meant Tate and
You
Anti.
did.
Yeah. I just realized that.
It's okay.
My bad.
All good.
I was
all
thinking of
good.
last session.
But yeah, when
yeah.
it's their turn, he'll go to Anti first and just kind of, I don't know where he would tap them.
They are awake,
but just-
essentially.
just
so-
kind of kneel in front of them, just like, all right, Anti, now it is your turn.
Acknowledged. Please go get your beauty sleep, as I believe you called it.
Yes, yes, I will. And
Humorous.
humorous. And head on over to Tate, lightly shake his shoulder, wake him up.
Hey there, big guy. My turn on the watch.
Indeed. Are you sufficiently rested?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Nothing different from back home.
Well,
So,
all's been quiet.
here's hoping it stays that way.
Hmm.
Always you get
He'll
your
go
rest,
and
big man.
will do. He'll go and find his own little corner, do a couple of loops, and curl up.
He's a little puppy.
Big old crocodile tail wrapped around him like a donut.
Licking his feet in his sleep.
So cute.
Alright, Anti, looks like it's you and me for a little bit more into the night. Rest well.
I only need very few hours, so I feel fully rested.
I mean, so my dad told me once that, well, technically any living creature only needs a couple hours, but it's nice to get a full 8, you know?
Inquiry.
You ever...
Do you all need
Yeah.
8 hours?
Well, I mean, some people can run on 0 sleep at all, but I don't know if that's a good idea. 8 hours is is a mighty nice target to aim for. Some days sleeping in for 10 hours, a little bit of a luxury back home.
You
How was,
mortals do need your sleep. I have observed as such.
You rested for a pretty long time in that tree. Yeah.
Oh, I assure you, I was awake the entire time.
Oh. So like no rest at all, just eternally watching over the tree.
A few hours each system day, but otherwise, yes.
Well,
I
at
am
least
your
you got
guardian after all.
Yeah, well, garden or not, I mean, when we get back to town, are you gonna go back to living in the tree when we go back for a break between expeditions?
Uncertain. I believe so. However, it depends on what is needed.
Well, we got a few extra buildings. We could give you one, give you a bed to you know, do your couple hours of resting
I do
if
not
you'd like.
require a bed.
Okay, well, neither do I, but it's nicer than the floor. Just give it a try for me, and
Acknowledged. We will try sleeping in a bed.
okay.
If that would make you appreciative.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
Hmm.
And if you need anything else back home or out here, don't be afraid to ask, alright? I know a lot of the folks here are a bit more, well, not honest when it comes to asking for help.
Indeed. It seems like all of you seem to not want to take care of yourselves at the price of other, if it could help others.
All of us, huh?
Indeed.
Oh, that's certainly a conclusion to come to, I'm sure. Oh, actually, for the right person, I'm pretty sure even Kloven would bend a little.
Humorous.
Anyways, speaking of the group, how are you adjusting to them so far?
I am adaptable.
Well, I mean, so is SK, but I mean, I mean, do you mean amicable? Are you liking everybody? Things going good? Because we're gonna be doing this again and again, and it'd just be good to be friends. That's all.
Understandable. I do not understand the concept of friendship in its entirety, other than through osmosis of watching how you folks interact with each other. However, I have found myself having enlightening conversations with multiple members of your party, which I believe some would deign as being a basis of the foundation of friendship.
Sorry, those are a lot of big words, but you've been having good conversations with everybody. That would make you friends, yeah. If we're like not all staying together back home and you end up wanting to see them again, that's a good sign of friendship right there.
Potentially. What about you, Tate Plantar?
They're asking about my thoughts on the group.
I am. After all, you seem to be one that takes care of others, but also takes care of himself, therefore making you unique.
uh, that's certainly a way to put that analysis. Humorous. Yeah. Well, comes to everybody. I mean, everyone. I can't sum them up in just a few words. Adamar is, believe it or not, he's got a personality. Not many people can see it past the cover, past the job, but I know what it's like to be reduced to what you do. Being what you are, what your task is. There's more to that guy. I'm sure you've had enlightening conversations with him, but hopefully when your friendship deepens, you can see some more of the guy who sneakily asks for a bit more coffee in his ration order. Kloven. Where do I start with Kloven? Him and his sister, him especially, he's got this sunny disposition that just lights up the room when he comes in. He's got this way of, he isn't a town guard for his sense of order or law, but just for the help he brings others. It's something that I've relied upon quite heavily, and I know it's going to matter a lot on this trip. Thaddeus, I hope I will get to know him a little better. Dad didn't like talking about him and Jillian too much, but from what I could interact with Thaddeus, with work and stuff, he means well. He's reserved, but him taking a step back is so he can get a better look at everyone else. I think. I hope so, at least. I haven't known Sewer King for much longer than you, but I get the sense that he's lonely. I hope he comes over for dinner more often, and hopefully in a less shocking way, and same with you. I can't imagine I'm much more enlightening to talk to than the others, but, you know, if you'd like something to eat, you're always welcome in my home.
I do not require sustenance in such ways.
That's why I said like.
Acknowledged. Tate Plantar, I do not know what it is that has changed, but I do sense some change inside of you. Since we first met in person, as well as what I have observed of you in your 30-odd years of life.
Oh, you really were watching us for like ever, huh? Wow, that's a... How much do I have to explain? How much do you already know? Sort of thing I have to feel out, huh?
I know most everything about you, Tate Plantar, other than your innermost thoughts.
Well, I'd be happy to share those with you too. I had someone very important to me help me out, and I'm guessing that's one of the major changes you're talking about. That's how I got to be like this, and because of that special person, I don't know if I should I think I should keep this a secret as to why I at least look so different from the first time we met. But I don't know. One person
Understood.
helped me out and changed me for the better. I want to carry that forward.
Acknowledged. Your ability to control wind is definitely new, however not unwelcome. After all, it can be very useful in a fight, and we will need to be doing a lot of fighting throughout this journey.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get a grasp on that fighting thing sooner rather than later. I think I freaked the others a little out too much when we're fighting those Mistrakes. I didn't exactly know when to stop swinging. And the wind thing, that's mighty nice. I think my sister is gonna be raising a lot more than an eyebrow at me when I show her. Do you have any family, Anti? Are there other trees, other people like you we should be on the lookout for?
There are. In fact, I expect to find one here.
Oh, that's great. It's good. I'm glad to hear that for you.
I do not know their state. I assume they are dead.
Well, we can always hope for more. Right? Or something better.
They kind of like quirk their head to the side, just like, I suppose we can hope. But it would not be logical to believe that it is true.
Oh,
Communication with them ceased many years ago. All of them in a way, lived inside of my head, inside of my mind. And I do not hear anything nowadays.
I see. I can't say. I can't say I know exactly what that's like to feel so connected to a person that you just know when they're gone. But if and when we see them, and it's not something that we like, whatever you need, you can ask of us, okay?
Acknowledged.
Hmm.
The sibling that I expect to find here, named L1-ANA. I hope that she is alright. However, as mentioned, it would surprise me.
Then I'll hope with you. And if those hopes are dashed, then I'll be with you too, okay?
Is this what mortals do for each other?
This is what friends do for each other. We're there for the best of times and the worst of times. Okay? So if something bad happens to me, you gotta be there for me too, alright?
Affirmative. I will be there to protect you.
Thank you.
Can you
For,
be friends with your siblings as well?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know some siblings don't get along, so by that logic, some siblings do get along, be like friends. Me and my sister get along for the most part, and, well, Kloven and Mai are, well, usually tied at the hip.
They look at you, and you can tell, like, there's no change in facial expressions at any point just because they are essentially just a static face, like, equivalent. And they just kind of stare at you for a moment, and they say, I hope Liana is doing well.
I hope so too.
Thank you, Tate. I am appreciative of you for this conversation. It has been most enlightening as to how mortal friendships work.
Anything for a friend, Anti.
Acknowledged. They'll just kind of go quiet a bit and just kind of sit there next to you. Your watch continues uneventful, unless you have something else you would like to say.
I think that'll be good, DM. Is that good?
That is good.
Perf.
All right. You guys go to bed, or get ready to go to back to like rest. And we have one last thing before we get into the next day, which is everyone's favorite thing. A dream sequence. So, Kloven,
Oh boy.
you have a nice and restful evening with no actual need to get up for watch. So you get settled in and you're ready to have a nice peaceful sleep. As you close your eyes, sleep finds you quickly. It was a stressful day with many creatures falling before your blade. The sound of screaming still ringing in your ears a little bit, but you're able to push that away. After all, it is relatively familiar to you at this point, this experience of fighting for your life and fighting against these monsters. And you drift and drift until you hear the dripping sound of water falling against rocks. And you open your eyes and find yourself in total darkness. A drastic change from the previous dream. In the distance, you hear a deep rumble. As you quickly go to measure what has changed, you look down and your body is still very much there. But you do notice that the ground around you is limited. A small 5-foot radius platform before total emptiness. As the rumbling gets louder, what do you do?
Not much ground for me to move on, so I'll probably just steal myself. Do I have any weapons with me or
You do.
anything like that?
You have
Okay,
your
okay.
standard weapons and armor
Okay.
on.
Okay, so I think he'll just look ahead and brace himself for whatever might be coming.
The rumbling continues, and you notice a new sound as it gets closer. Crushing rocks and the sound of flesh sliding along the ground. In the distance, you notice a small green eye, reptilian in nature. As you follow it, it notices your presence, squints and blinks before closing. Your mind scrambles to find anything else. For a different eye, a blue eye lights up, this time still staring into you directly, and it begins to move closer. What do you do?
I think if it doesn't feel threatening. He'll kind of relax himself, give a sort of welcoming aura about him, maybe even smile through his uncertainty.
All right.
Mhm.
As you relax yourself, you see eyes open up, one by one. A second blue one greets you. Another green, red, black, white, black, green, red, white. And as you clock all of them, you notice the eyes back off and seem to elevate themselves up into the higher part of this cavern. And the rumbling resumes as a voice begins to bellow in your direction, with seeming efforts of softness. And it just says, "There you are. I've missed you." And as it says this, you wake up. As you wake up, you feel a burning sensation on your hand, as you notice those same colors dance as flames upon them and are attempting to force their way into your skin.
Am I allowed to clamp my hand around itself to try to block it?
You may. You clench your hand just to try and make sure that whatever is going on can't take place. But as they do, it forces against your hand with tremendous strength for what seem to be just little bits like will-o-wisps. And you take 10 points of fire damage.
Oh, okay.
And the sting, as it enters and comes into your hand, and the sting lingers as you sort of just grasp your hand, but it fades as it's replaced with a feeling of strength. You feel strong, stronger than before. And before you have time to question it, the pain fades entirely, and you feel it as part of you warms up. You take a deep breath, for all of those feelings are gone.
I think as that was happening, he probably would have let out like a little unintentional yelp through the pain. But as it subsides, he'll look at his hand. Is there anything different about it now?
You can see just like the faintest echo of a rainbow of colors just kind of dancing underneath your skin a bit.
Seems they were more excited to see me than I was of them. Wonder who this new visitor is.
You let yourself relax and get returned to your resting state. And Kloven, please increase your strength score by 1.
Oh, okay. Nice.
As this seeming foreign power that forced its way into you strengthens your resolve and your grip. Okay. With that, we shall move on to the new morning. I'll give you guys some time to chit-chat amongst each other.
Has the interface started making sense yet? No? Cool.
Wait, what do you mean by interface?
Which faces are we referring to?
Well, you know what? No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't like being bested by technology.
How about one of us give it a try? I mean, sheer dumb luck is a thing.
If you want to, be my guest.
Alright. So, anyone want to, or am I gonna... Alright, I'm gonna... check it out. Alright,
Give it your best, Tate.
Alright, so, I'm gonna put my finger on here, and, DM, what do you want me to roll? Just a d20, or...?
Hold on one
DM
second.
Yeah.
I think she
I-
stepped away, yeah.
I don't know why, but my
Yeah,
model
okay.
also just decided to fucking die, which is great.
Oh,
There we go.
no.
It's back.
Yeah.
It's back.
She lives.
I wasn't away because I noticed my model was just like kind of glitching out. All good. The water on my desk will wait.
Oh, we can keep yapping.
No, you're
Go,
good. You'll
go.
have some time. I'll describe it. Essentially, as you kind of go up to it, I mean, literally, there's a large section on the screen that just says "Call Transport." Would you like to click that button?
Yeah, sure.
Thaddeus feel like a total idiot.
As your finger presses against it, you see the screen change, and it just said, "On the way.
Huh.
Please wait."
Maybe I got, like, technology powers now, too.
Oh.
Thaddeus is going to pull off his monocle. He's going to rub it clean. He's going to look at it again like he's dumbstruck. What the?
Oh, very
Oh.
nice. That was very
No.
smart, Tate. Good job.
Yes, most impressive.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Go ahead, sir.
Nice job.
Listen, what's the term? Occam's razor or something? I just saw the thing we wanted and I touched the thing we wanted. Glass is touchable, I guess. We don't have touchable glass back home, right?
Yeah, I wasn't operating on that assumption.
You're good. Sometimes sometimes a simpler look at things makes it easier to understand. Anyways,
Now we just wait.
wait. If something's coming and it's transport like the kind I drove back home, do you think somebody's driving it?
I would presume so. It seems we've sent some sort of signal to them.
Actually, if you want me to be honest, I think this is probably automated. I'd bet whatever energy source that runs on my guns and Jillian's hideouts is probably responsible.
Nonsense. How can a vehicle drive itself?
You'd be amazed
Oh.
what you can do with the power of technology.
Well, my pa always said that they were originally called automobiles, so maybe them being automatic just makes sense.
It is kind of in the name. Unless it's
Mhm.
spelled OTTO, in which case we might be coming face to face with a guy named Otto in a second.
I could
The
believe that.
automobile.
Kloven. It was a joke.
Oh, right. I understood.
So what
It's-
should we do if this Otto fellow is not friendly?
SK, it was a joke!
Well, presumably, we'll use auto as a placeholder for now.
You have to be prepared
mean-
for any sort of circumstance.
May
Well,
I confirm, this is Anti speaking up. Many systems inside of the tree were automated. You are not correct. Or you're not incorrect about that statement. This is likely automated in that there is something coming, whether or not there is a person is undecided.
You hear that, fellas? No Otto. I'm betting no Otto.
I'm willing to place some bets if we all are.
You're on. 2 gold.
I thought Maya raised you better than that.
Me? Oh,
No,
please.
I'm talking to Kloven.
You think... Tate, Kloven's my best customer at the gambling table.
Thaddeus, please.
So,
Oh, come
all
on.
know what
We're all
happens
adults
when
here.
we all know what happens when Kloven gets too close to a table.
Yes, we do.
I wasn't aware you knew about that, SK.
He just grins.
Last I checked, I'm pretty sure he saw it.
how much does SK? How much do you hear about what goes on in the tavern? Like how you?
Oh.
I'm assuming you live there, right? So
Oh, I hear everything.
I knew you lived in the tavern.
Not in the tavern proper.
No? Then where? I just need to make sure I know, just in case I ever need to apprehend you for anything.
Oh, don't worry. I'll find you instead.
An interesting turn of events. Not often that people turn themselves in.
Well, my lips are sealed.
But you do realize that letting me know that you are constantly in the shadows of the tavern does tend to put a bit of a spot on where I should expect your little hideaway to be.
well, I mean, it's not like he needs to hide anymore, right?
I suppose not.
Yeah, it's basically a part of the town now. In fact, it'd be nice to see him around more, yeah?
Would you come out in the day, SK?
Perhaps.
That is when you tend to find people.
Exactly.
Be introverted, that's alright. Understandable.
Besides, I don't miss out on anything regardless. My eyes fill me in on everything that happens during the day. They're quite the good gossips.
And do you mean the rats?
Just so.
Ah.
Interesting. Sort of as you guys continue to have this conversation, looking back to the monitor itself, you can see that there's like a little small bar that has been filling up over time. And after about 5 minutes, a small, you guys you know what cars are because Tate drives one. Small car-like structure comes up and pulls into the station. From what you can see, there's no exhaust or nothing that would potentially give you clue as to what is causing it to move around. But as it pulls up, a large door on the side of it opens by itself, and you are all welcome to step inside the vehicle whenever you like.
So no one managing it from
There's
what we can see?
no one managing it.
Kloven just hands Thaddeus 2 gold.
Thaddeus is going to very smugly adjust his monocle and make a show of pocketing Kloven's money. Pleasure doing business with you.
No
Until next time.
auto.
I was hoping for auto too, for what it's worth.
Oh, you should have placed
You
a
just-
bet too then.
No, I'm not a
Adamar's-
gambling man.
Trust me, I've tried. He knows I stack the deck.
Indeed. I've never been able to figure it out.
And a magician never reveals his secrets, Adamar.
Tease, is that all you do?
No, I put my money where my mouth is. And Thaddeus is going to get on the cart.
Alright. Everybody gets in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Alright.
assuming it's spacious enough for all of us, right?
Yes, there is.
If we have to sit on each other's laps, that is fine.
Of course.
Oh no, not enough seats.
Oh no!
There's only one bed at the inn, you guys.
Oh no.
Oh no. Such a shame. But as you guys all come in, you can see that there's enough seats there for about 10 people. All of the seats, though, interestingly, are situated facing towards the front of the car. the direction that it came from. And as you kind of file in, you can see at the center of the front of the car, there's another screen there with a large button on the display that just simply says the words, "Depart?" ?
Thaddeus is not going to make the same mistake you made before, and he is going to touch the glass where it says depart.
Does it only say depart? Is it like a list of locations, or?
It just says "Depart."
Tate, thank you for unlocking the secrets of this wondrous technology. Now let's be on our way.
That's our only destination.
Once pushed, the screen changes and kind of fades away into a little, like a few like small, I guess you guys would think of them that they look like explosions, but fireworks kind of come onto the screen and sort of as a little celebration as it says, "Welcome to Kenril, enjoy the trip."
Was that a threat?
I feel vaguely threatened. Thaddeus is going to grab his gun.
Maybe there is an auto after all, waiting for us on the other side.
If there is one, I've got a bullet with his name on it.
As the car begins to move, I love this. As the car begins to move, it does so smoothly. And as it begins, you can see the tunnel darken around you as occasional lights pass by. And in the front, a large projector screen comes down in front of the car, obscuring any outside vision, as separately other screens come in on the side and the back of the car. Shortly after, music begins to start playing as the screen begins to display a video of cheerfully animated people and settings, and a voiceover starts. "When we were children, we always strove to do our best for the world. When faced with adversity, we were taught to face the problem head-on with all the smarts our brains could muster. After all, is humanity not entitled to the sweet call of the world and its wonders?" The video on the screen, sorry, I just tapped back into the Discord for a second. The video that displays shows an idyllic white city with things floating through the air, people wearing matching lab coats, and all the buildings are focused around a large tree at the center of the city. Voiceover continues. "After the mist came, we here at Kenril were given one task: to determine how to best be able to retake the world from the problem at hand. We brought only the best and the brightest, and day by day we are working towards complete mist eradication." The display continues, showing people coughing at the mist before a respirator comes in and attaches itself to the face before the people settle happily and give it a thumbs up. These products and creations would become the cornerstone of the new world that we build together. The trees of life, mist vaccines, and more, all would be within their reach of our incredible scientists here at Kenril. The display continues and shows a tree looking very similar to the one in the stocks, followed by a person getting injected with a needle, also giving a nice hearty thumbs up. "So come, ye weary travelers. We're so glad you're here and safe. Welcome to Kenril, building the future of the world today." And as the audio says today, the screens recede back and you squint as the as light fills the car. The outside is that same large city that you saw in the videos, only with some differences. The buildings are all missing large chunks out of them. Roots and other foliage are overgrown over the white structures. The city's large dome that covers it is cracked and split open with many missing sections. A slight amount of mist seems to be spilling through, but not too much. Just a small layer on the ground level. At the center of the city, you can see that same tree-like structure that you saw in the video. However, it is peeled and exposing a metal shaft, just like you saw what happened after the night owls attacked the stalks. Creatures can be seen flying through the air, and can be seen moving through the rest of the city as the car comes to a stop at the station. The doors open, and you are greeted with the city of Kenril before you.
Doesn't seem like the perfect utopia as advertised, but it does have a tree.
It's so much bigger than anything I could have expected.
Yeah, just that's a good thing to bring up. I want to note that the whole dome of Kenril is probably roughly 4 times the size of the stalks
Oh, jeez.
in radius. Sort of take a second to look around and try and gather a little bit of an idea of what exactly are you looking at. And as you do so, something catches your eyes. There is a large, almost hornet-like creature that seems to be kind of floating in the air and almost approaching you as you all step out of the car. I'm going to need everyone to look into the art channel for our first creature.
Oh, oh,
Uh,
oh! A creature. Oh!
oh my god!
I don't like it.
Goodness, oh my
I don't like it.
Ugh.
Bug.
Bug!
So,
Bug.
this is the first of Day's lovely creations, so everybody say hello to this hornet man centipede thing.
Is that an
Oh.
earwig? Like, I hate that so much.
And you see, as it kind of comes down to you, it gets within about 20 feet. And I just want to note that this thing is roughly the size of a human, so you're looking at like a 6 or 7 foot tall kind of thing as it gets closer. It kind of just looks at you, goes back and forth, cocking its head in different directions, before buzzing off into the distance and rejoining a group of them, from what you can tell, that seems to fly off and go about their business as they were.
How many in that group?
6 or 7.
Okay. But did it seem hostile?
They looked at you. Say, would you like to make an insight check on it?
Yes. Can I?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yay!
7. It looked at you, acknowledged your presence, and moved on. So from
Yep,
what you can
okay.
tell, it seems to not be hostile.
Alrighty. Well, certainly odd, but not entirely dangerous.
Perhaps it's simply a part of the wildlife.
Maybe what was.
As you sort of continue to take your first steps out into the more, outside of the little entry station and into the area of the city as a whole, there do seem to be walkways, but they're all very much overgrown with grass and other vegetation that seems to be very much kind of reclaiming the world in a way, but noticeably in a different way to that of how the mist would reclaim it. It seems to be really more natural in a strange way. And as you move forward, in the distance, you can see a figure running towards you all at high speeds.
Oh.
You want us to make a perception check?
Aggressively?
Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, go ahead and make a perception check if you want to try and figure that out.
That's a 5.
As a
Oh my
got you covered.
goodness.
23.
It's like-
Okay, there we go.
Another one?
Good rolls from everybody tonight so far. We're
That's
doing really
really
well.
good.
All right,
Very
SK, SK and
Yay.
SK and Kloven. You kind of take a second and get a closer look at this figure that seems to be running towards you. SK, you immediately notice something. They have cheetah legs, but they're standing on 2 feet. As Kloven, as you kind of take a look, this is not something that you're familiar with, but one thing you do notice is that there is a mostly humanoid face to the person. And as they begin to get closer, you notice their features come into view a bit more. It's a feminine humanoid with cheetah legs, ram's horns, webbed fingers wearing a lab coat with a large circular pair of glasses with long dark hair that is messy and covering one of her eyes entirely. She makes her way up to the group of you and says, Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We don't have visitors very often anymore. Welcome. It's good to see you all.
Calm down.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
good to see you too.
Okay.
Take a breath for me, yeah?
I'm taking a breath. Okay.
Well, let's start with a couple of questions. One, you have a name?
Oh, yes, of course. Of course I have a name. It's Janine.
Well, Janine, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Thaddeus. And he's gonna extend his robot hand.
You see that on they outreach their right hand, and you can notice at this closer inspection that they have like there's an armhole for their left arm, but there's no arm there. This is their only arm. They reach out and just shake your hand and says, Wow, it's been a little while, so thank you. Good to see you all. Yeah, welcome to Kenrill. Is there anything I can help you folks with? We're building the future of tomorrow today. You know what they say in the video, right?
Well, yeah, I saw the video, but looks like all that building is turning into a bit of a rubble pile.
Oh, well, there's nothing to worry about with that, I assure you. We're merely just
Well-
changing about how we do our testing.
What if I told you we're here to help?
She kind of looks over through all of you. You're all here to help? I assure you that we have things perfectly under control here.
So that flying creature we saw on our way here, that's intentional?
Oh yes, very much intentional. That is one of our creations.
Wait, you made that?
Yes. Here, walk and talk with me. I would be happy to
Oh.
explain what we have going on here.
All right, go ahead.
Of course. Might I just say, and she looks back at Sewer King, she says, you wouldn't happen to be one of our experiments, would you?
Madam, certainly not.
Oh, well, all well and good then. I suppose it's even a good sign that potentially things are able to change and adapt out there. That's good. That's very good. Oh, actually, real quick, she'll turn around and just say, I got your name, Thaddeus, right? What are the rest of your names?
Tate.
Tate, okay.
I'm Kloven. It's nice to meet you.
Kloven, great. Nice to meet you too.
And I'm the Sewer King.
The Sewer King, that is an interesting name, but very much you are all welcome here. Oh, and it's Adamar. Thank you. Adamar. Okay, that's another one down. Looks back towards Anti, and they just kind of look at Janine and just say, We are their guardian. Nothing more. Oh, okay, sure. That's fine. No worries about that. Okay, yeah, let's get on with the more tour proper. It's first of all, do you have any questions? I suppose that we should start with that before I start to get into any sort of excessive information for you folks.
I have to say, I'm rather surprised to find someone who, in a manner of speaking, so closely resembles myself. Are
Oh.
there many of you around?
Well, in regards to scientists, yes, there are quite a few, yes. In regards to creations, well, you can see them. You can see them all over. They're flying through the air. They're on the ground. They're living in a veritable utopia in a way. And I just want to note, as you kind of like continue to walk by, another creature is going to catch your eye. This is a smaller creature, but its head is very close to the ground, and you can see a lot of bug-like features coming out. And as you sort of walk by, you notice that there's almost like these almost antenna-like things coming out of a sharp and hard shape. I don't know properly how to describe this. That seems to be coming out of their head. There seems to be a lot of what would be assumed to be feelers, but it turns to you all and just gives you guys a loud as you pass by.
Oh.
And I'm posting the art in the art channel.
Oh.
Centimoose.
Oh.
And so she.
Oh, man.
Yes. This is one of our creations. It's a bit of a hybrid of centipedes and moose and other animals. There's a lot of different spliced things in there, but it's. I assure you, they're all quite docile in a way. So do not worry anything about them.
Is it happy?
Oh, I believe it is. And she'll kind of walk up and give it a little pat on its head. Says, "You're very happy, aren't you?" And it'll just kind of like nuzzle into it a little bit.
Oh. And
How is it that they are so docile?
Oh well, we created them that way.
You created their personalities as well.
Well, we just managed to go into the DNA of the creatures and sort of take out any aggressive genes. Figure it's better that way, at least in the current term, while we are still currently testing, in order to make sure that we have cracked the code, if you will.
Aggressive pardon my saying so, without any ounce of aggression in a creature's body, what you have essentially created, madam, is cattle. This thing would never be able to survive on its own.
Well, I assure you, it is perfectly capable of traversing the mist by itself. We have sent a few of them out there.
And have any of them returned?
Oh, yes. Not 100%, but a number. You see the antenna coming off of their horns. Those are essentially feelers that allow them to be able to see in the mist, despite not having any remaining eyes. It heightens the senses in that sort of way, rather than relying on eyesight like you and I would, which is ultimately inefficient in the mist, as I'm sure you all are aware, considering you made your way here.
And the mist doesn't change its temperament?
No, it does not.
Interesting.
and do you have many visitors like us?
No, not very many, I will be honest.
Another question, if I'm able to. How long have these experiments been going on for?
Oh, let's see. I believe I'm a 4th generation scientist. So, approximately 200 years?
That's a big number. How do you make these things?
We splice their DNA.
I get that. I don't get what that has to do with genes.
Well, it is quite involved, and all I will say is that we just simply aimed to understand all creation at a molecular level in order to determine the best path forward for humanity. And we are ever inching closer.
Is it just you up here?
Oh no, and in fact, she'll kind of gesture, and there's a small little section. They're all like kind of camped around a little fire. But this is in fact, here are some of the other scientists over here as well. We're just kind of taking a little bit of a lunch break right now, but I guess this would be the closest thing to saying that we are here. And
Thaddeus is going to walk up to the rest of the scientists and see what he can suss out about them.
Okay. You can see that there's approximately, I would say, 15 or so people kind of gathered around this general area. They are all very much similarly spliced creatures to Janine. They all have different, like, animal parts kind of fastened onto them. And as animal, insects, even fungi, you can see there's some growing off of the different scientists here. And they kind of look at you, definitely with a bit of a less bubbly disposition than Janine is. And just says, so, and one of them speaks up and just kind of walks forward. It's like, so you're new visitors, huh? Well, welcome to Kenril. It's good to have you.
I suppose I could say that, but I've got a question for all of you.
Sure, shoot.
Did you happen to have met a woman named Jillian going through these parts?
Okay. Janine will kind of speak up. It's like, I don't. That's a woman, right? Let's start there.
That is a woman. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. There was a woman that passed through here a few years ago.
How many years? Do you remember?
3 or 5. I'm not quite sure. Sorry. She came around. She said she was going to figure out the truth about the world and took off a few days after looking around in here a bit. I think. No, you're right. The name did start with a G. Sorry, mine's a bit scrambly after all the experiments.
Well, do you know what happened to her?
She took off. That's what Janine said.
She's good at that.
Said she had more to see of this world. That she wasn't going to let herself stay in one place at a time.
That makes sense, but here's another question for you. Did she happen to leave anything behind? It's not like her to not leave her mark on a place.
I can assure you that we have found nothing of the sort.
Well, I might. Do you mind if I take a look around the city?
I mean, of course. You are free to take a look around as you wish. We only express that you take your time and be kind to the wildlife. They will not hurt you if you do not hurt them.
What? Do you think I'm just gonna... Daddy's gonna hold his gun up?
You have a gun. So yes.
What do you think I'm going to do? Call this open season? No, they're your experiments. I'll leave them alone.
See, the one that's been kind of leading the other side of scientists just kind of glares at you a bit and just says, "Don't interrupt the experiments, okay?"
That wasn't my plan. Don't worry. This is just for self-defense.
now that the let's cut right through that tension. Is there anything else I can help you with? I would not recommend going to the labs. Those are a bit off limits nowadays. But you are free to go into the city itself and explore at your leisure. Why are you here, by the way?
We want to see your tree.
Oh, she looks over at the tree. Well, it's not exactly in operation anymore, as you can
I mean-
see.
We'd still like to take a look. We had one back in our our little town.
Oh,
It's actually the reason we're coming here.
oh, are you from the north or the south?
Uh,
Oh, sorry, I should.
no.
The Stocks, right? I believe that's what your place is called.
Yeah, did Jillian tell you, or?
No. We know all about the Stocks, of course.
How do you know about the stocks?
Well, I mean, we were integral in creating the trees of life, and you have one up there, don't you? Oh, actually, and she'll just kind of like it's clicking in her mind. You said you were a guardian. You're the guardian of the Stocks, aren't you? Pointing at Anti.
They sure are.
Huh. Well, okay. Then, I hope that you find what you're looking for.
Now, Dr. Janine, I know you said the labs were off limits,
Oh, yes.
but I must admit I'm frightfully interested in the sort of work that you do. Is there no way that I can convince you to sit in on a few experiments?
Ooh, what kind of experiments would you be looking to run?
Oh, I don't know. I'm curious about the kind of work you do. The things you create.
Oh, well, you should be able to see plenty of those while going through the whole of the city itself.
Indeed, but I would like to see the process behind the creations.
Oh, that is probably not a great idea. It's the people that work in there are they don't like to be disturbed, so yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, but you wouldn't even know I'm there. I'm very good at keeping quiet when I want to.
Well, and Janine kind of looks back to the other scientists. They're all giving her like a very stern like look.
There shouldn't be any harm in it, I assure you. He's very well kept.
Well, do you have any way of surviving the mists? I suppose you must, or else you would not be here, but...
What a curious question. I suppose I have perhaps a higher tolerance than my comrades here.
Well... I guess the best way to explain it would be, that we have done some changes around here, to create different, essentially controlled, places. So, the labs are one of those places at this point. So, and you can see the other scientists give her another stern look of just like, I must not, I cannot accompany you, and you shouldn't do so yourselves.
How big of a community do you all have it here? Is it just a small group, or?
It's just this small group at this point.
Are you guys living all right, eating well, resting well.
Oh, yes. No, we're living and resting very well, and yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do, and well, certainly not off base on any of that.
Listen, if you guys need help going to where we're from and want to try sleeping on, or, just like, if you guys want to come back with us, I'm sure it wouldn't be too much of us to help you do that.
Well, we're not leaving Kenroll. Let's get one thing straight. There's still important work to be done, and we're not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, speaking of that work, I saw in that video there were those masks that helped them ignore the mist. Are those something you guys have here?
Well, we do, yes. It's something that we do utilize from time to time whenever we feel the need to go out into the mist to conduct field research.
I see. Do you have any, what's the term, Thaddeus? Blueprints, schematics that you could lend us? It'd help us greatly if that were possible.
Oh,
You can even just give me the blueprints. I can work with anything.
if you think you can pull it together with your primitive technology, then please, by all means.
Well, it don't have to be primitive if, you work with us, right?
Fair enough. And we'll grab them for you. You can come by whenever you come back after your little excursion.
Thank you. Janine, one more thing I wanted to ask, and it's fine if you say no. I get that we're imposing a lot. Listen, city's a big place. Could you give us or lend us a map so we can get to the tree more efficiently and look around without interrupting any of your experiments?
Oh, I
or a car.
I don't have a map on me, but there are some regularly placed map stations along the way, so you should be able to. In fact, I think there's one just over a little bit further over that way. If you want to go ahead and stop by that before going about your way. So.
Perfect. Thank you. And right. I don't have anything to give you like cheese or milk, so your glasses look nice.
Thank you. That's awfully nice of you to say.
I mean, it's the least I could offer, given all the help and hospitality y'all are showing us. So, yeah.
It's very appreciated. It's nice to have new faces here. I suppose that means the world may be healing, which is great. That's great.
Actually,
At the very least, the land around the stocks is, at least by accounts of all the planters doing their hard work.
Is that so? Do you not have mist up there?
Not anymore.
She kind of looks back at the other scientists like, what the fuck? What? How did you get rid of it?
Ask Anti.
You see,
We also had a help from a very kind dragon.
a
That too.
dragon. Wow. Okay. Anti has kind of just been sitting there staring at the tree, or the metal chef that was the tree, for a long time. Just kind of spacing out, and just they look back over after hearing your name brought up and just says, "Why is the tree dead?" Yeah, well, we decided to. She looks back to the other scientists. They just kind of shrug. We decided to get rid of it because it was, hampering the controlled state that we had over the mist creatures. So we have to make sure that the control subjects we have here are the most natural and organic they can be. So, yeah, we took it apart. And, things are fine.
what about the person that was inside it?
There was no person inside of it. I can assure you that much.
How does Anti look right now?
They don't really show emotions, so they're just kind of standing there, just continuing to stare at the tree, or the remnants of it. Interesting. I will evaluate myself. Okay. Is there anything else I can help you folks with before you go about your little tours?
That should be good. Do you guys have anything you want to ask?
I
I
want to know.
think we'll find most of our answers looking around.
One of them just speaks up. I want to know how you got rid of the mist, but we can save that for later. I don't imagine you're planning on getting out of here in a quick day trip, judging by, well, how you've been acting.
You're very observant. Quite well for a scientist then, but you're right. We'll explain things later after our little tour.
Oh, well, great. Come back here whenever you're done. We'll have some dinner ready for you at that time.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to, but we appreciate it.
Of course, of course.
I want to ask Adamar something in private if we're like turning away.
Sure, yeah.
Should we tell them or ask them about what happened to us if it happened to them? Because I'm thinking maybe they didn't have such a good run as we did when we got invaded.
There seems to be some kind of tension going on between, at least, how they are looking at us. I think we should figure things out a bit in more detail before we press or anything. That makes sense.
All right. I'll leave the lead to you. I'm not exactly the interrogative sort.
Right.
Real quick, also a private aside moment, if possible.
Sure.
Super King is gonna go up to Thaddeus and just very quietly go, "Now, I know they distinctly told me not to, but I do have a hankering to see what's going on in those labs. If you'd like to join me for a spot of misadventure."
Well, let me ask you a question in return, SK. Since when has being told specifically not to do something ever stopped you before?
Never.
Well, in that case, I think you've got my answer too.
Excellent. I can't let this opportunity pass by. I mean, look at them. They look like me. Sort of.
Yeah. I've been taking note of that myself. Not
If there
quite
are
the same.
answers. Yeah, if there are answers, I should very much like to know.
If there are answers, I promised you a long time ago I'd help you find them.
Well, we shall split off at a opportune moment then.
You got it. And as always, I've got your back.
And I yours.
Alrighty. Then, as you guys sort of make your way away from the scientists, Janine will just kind of give you guys a little soft and jubilant wave bye. Say, remember, come back for dinner.
We will. Thank you.
You got it.
And where would you folks like to go? There's 3 major areas. There is the labs, there is the residential area, and there is the tree itself, which is a part of the residential area.
I figure the tree is top priority, but I don't want to assume for everybody else.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, definitely the tree first.
All right. Scroll my notes around. All right. So as you guys sort of make your way into the more of the city proper, I'm just to note that since this tree is inside of the residential area, I assume you guys would kind of like explore the residential area while you're on your way to the tree. Does that sound fair?
That's fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as you guys kind of sort of make your way down, the way that the city is sort of shaped is almost in like a sort of slight like concave way. So where you guys were kind of walking around, and that was sort of in this outer circle, you guys take a few like many flights of steps, sort of going down into the residential area. As you do so, you just continue to see a bunch of different horrifying little creatures. Just to kind of describe a few of them here and there. As you're sort of walking down, you notice there's one creature that sort of seems to be curled up around a tree. And just taking a look at it, at least from the top side of it, you can see it's very much, there's an eagle's face to it, which an eagle is granted not an animal that many of you know, but there's like a bird-like face and wings. But you notice as it kind of gets down further, it's replaced by what seems to be becoming a trend. It has, I'm dropping this in Mistwalkers, it has a centipede-like body. And as it sort of is wrapped around this tree, you sort of get to you get to see a closer look. Yeah, sorry. This is a second for you guys to react to this.
They're friendly guys. They're
Oh
docile.
my god. I hope this vision is based on movement, that's all I'm gonna say.
And it just kind of looks at you, and you see the bird head of it with the rest of the body just wrapped around this small tree. Just looks at you, and it just cocks its head before going, eh. Or cocking it to the other way and just going, eh. It just looks at you. Continuously going back and forth. Doesn't seem to be moving. You
A
sold.
horrid abomination.
I just don't like the look of that.
It's gonna walk up to it.
Oh,
Tate,
course.
what are you?
go for it. What do you want to do?
The same way Janine petted the moosipede,
Mhm.
I would like to pet this eagleed.
Eagle peed is what I have it labeled as in my
Eagle
notes.
peed.
Oh my
God.
But yeah, so you're just gonna walk up to it and sort of outreach your hand to it?
Yeah, trying to like stroke its eagle head.
All right, can
Maybe
you?
it's centipede carapace.
I
Yeah.
have to ask you for an animal handling check.
Yeah, no, this is what I'm gonna enter. All right,
Okay.
this is 16.
This is 16, yeah. So as you kind of reach out your hand, it sort of looks at it quizzically. Goes back and forth a few times, still continuing to just do the like, little or reaching out and just sort of forcing its beak almost into your palm just to try and see if there's food inside of it. At least that's the behavior that you would recognize.
And I shouldn't be feeding you. I was told not to interfere, but making sure you're amicable should be fine. And he'll start scratching like on top of its head and behind its where its ear should be.
Say where its ears should be. Yeah.
Yeah, birds have ears. I just don't know how far up the centipede part goes.
Pretty far. But
yeah,
it kind of just like as you do this and go to scratch it, it very much leans into the scratches, and you can see the bug-like arms that are kind of coming out of one of its sides where there should be wings, sort of start to come over to you and just very much sort of kind of ruffle your hair a little bit, but in a very playful kind of way, strangely playful.
All right, little guy. As long as you know we don't mean any harm, just know that, all right? And with time, Tate will back up, and I'll ask Janine if we can feed you later. All right. Turns to look back at the crew.
Fascinating.
You are insane, Tate Plantar.
Janine did it to be perfectly fine, and like it or not, we're gonna have to be interacting with these things on a normal basis. That one looked pretty calm, so probably our best bet at familiarizing ourselves with creatures that look like this.
Fair enough.
I knew you were good with animals, but I'm impressed.
And add bugs to the list now too, I guess.
Kloven kind of tenses at that.
I wonder if that means that there's hope for the wildlife outside. After all, it only seems that the mist is affecting their temperament. Creatures that we've encountered are chock full of them, like the bat that I dissected. We remove the mist. Perhaps they're no different from any other sort of wildlife.
Well, it was also the opposite. The scientists mentioned that they removed the tree because it was impacting the temperament of the creatures here. Maybe they need the mist to live too.
I want to note, just on that, something that's kind of like, it's subtle, but there's been enough of these shown that you can see that none of them, all the creatures in the mist, you could see just that they kind of just irradiated it out, like it was seeping out of every orifice that they had. There's no mist coming out of any of these creatures. They seem to be organic, as if a creature this horrific could be organic.
Although
They
I
are
must
all
say,
science.
yes, I must say though, I'm apprehensive at the idea of creating life with no aggression. Seems rather recessive, if you ask me.
Hard to have a survival instinct like that.
Exactly.
This place was different from where we came from, right? I mean, maybe in an ideal world, we wouldn't need to be aggressive. You know?
I don't know if it did them any good, considering the lack of individuals here and more creatures than men, but have a feeling they're leaving out some important details.
All right. You can continue your way on. Reach the sort of bottom of the little concave section. This is where a lot of the buildings kind of start. You can see just like there are streets and with street lights and everything, similar to what you'd find in the real world. But it's empty. There's nothing left in terms of proper civilization. As you kind of look around, you see a bunch of buildings that all just, they're empty. No one is living in them anymore. As if, and with vines kind of swirling up around each of them, very much nature is starting to reclaim this part of the city of Kenrol. If you would like, you can go inside of one of the buildings if you would like to see more, or you may continue on to the tree.
Kloven is definitely curious, so if anyone else would like to, I think he'll draw close to one of the doors and peek inside.
Right? As you sort of make your way, you sort of like slide open the door a little bit, you see another creature just sort of inside of the inside of the building. It's just a fuzzy creature with two little round ears and overall quite large. Like the size, let's say about like 8 feet long, about 5 feet high. It's on all fours, and it just sort of looks over at you, or just giving you a little like,
Oh, my apologies. Oh.
You
He'll
know,
like bow his head a bit and close the door. Oh, well. Seems like that was preoccupied.
go to another building. And strangely enough, there seems to be another one in there.
Oh.
And it just looks at you. This one seeming a bit more quizzical. Just looking at you and remaining calm.
He kind of stares for a moment, doing his usual apology, but I'm sorry. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It sort of works its head back and forth a bit. It doesn't seem to be doing much.
Is it just standing there? Is it doing something inside? Is it...
This one is currently looking at you, but then eventually, after just a bit of time, it'll just go to lick itself a bit.
Hmm.
For the record, I want to note that this looks like a bear.
Okay.
Barapede.
I would say, I want to note this. It really does just look like a normal bear right now.
It just looks like a bear.
Yes.
No, that's not right.
Like, it just looks like a bear.
Or an armadillo
Just-
bear.
It just looks like a bear. But it seems to be docile to you.
Okay. Does the house inside, like, when he looks inside, does it seem like is there upkeep in the house?
There is not upkeep in the house.
There's
It
not
is-
any upkeep. Okay.
It just, there's like, there's water kind of flowing down through it. Some of the stairs are kind of messed up. Cracks in the walls, etc.
He's gonna back away from the door and kind of turn to everyone else like, so that was strange. That's just a bear.
Just a bear.
Yes. Just a bear. I feel like I'm dreaming.
Huh.
Gonna nudge Thaddeus. You gonna pinch him or?
He knows he's awake.
As you guys are sitting there discussing, you can see from the door that Kloven came out to, gets nudged open from the other side, You can see the bear walking out to the group of you. And it just looks at you all.
Oh, hello again. Oh, so sorry to interrupt or come in without asking. We're new here, just trying to look around the place.
I thought it was just a bear. Why are you talking to it?
Hold on. It's a special bear, right?
This,
Seems to be.
it's just a normal bear. It's got 4 legs. It's got the tail on closer inspection does look to be a little bit longer than a typical bear.
Funny how you mention that, Your Majesty, when you converse with rats on a daily basis.
Yes, but my rats can talk.
He just kind of blinks at you.
Well, maybe we need to find like the Bear King, the Honey King. Hey, listen, big guy, we don't mean any trouble. We got a little curious. We'll respect people's homes from now on, all right? And looks at Kloven.
Yes, of course. My apologies.
It's all right.
It just kind of starts to make its way back into the house. But as it does so, it's going to turn around to the rest of you and give you a big roar. And as it does, once again, check the art channel.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Something tells me it's not
Whoa.
just a bear, guys.
What do you mean? As it does, you notice parts of it kind of split.
Oh god.
The mouth
boy.
begins to split open in 4 separate directions as the tail splits in half and its back leg splits to reveal a centipede-like leg in between the two of them.
Is it always centipedes?
And dropping the art.
Oh no!
No.
Not the bear peed.
And so the bear just kind of does this big roar, and as its like body parts kind of flay open to reveal more of their other form, it just does so before back together, and it just looks like a normal bear again.
What was that you were saying about it being a normal bear, Kloven?
He was wrong. He was clearly wrong.
You're the one that assumed it first.
Have you guys ever seen a normal bear before? I mean, maybe that is normal. I mean, we don't know what the world was like before the mist, right? But these people should, right? What if everything was supposed to be a centipede?
I would rather not live in a world like that.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to look into the residential district before you get to the tree, as you are getting quite close?
Kloven is just gonna settle beside Adamar and stay away from the doors. You're going to have to stop me from going forward.
I think we should adhere Janine's advice and stay away from them where possible.
I admit my curiosity got the best of me.
Understandable. This place is very strange. Very strange indeed. All right. As you guys continue to make your way forward, as you are approaching the center of the town, there's buildings on your left and right. The tree is within reach, and you can see the the roots of the tree essentially have fallen down and are very much a cause of much of the destruction in this central area of the White Spires. And as you continue to make your way forward, you hear something. Just a soft little happens again, just a little meow.
Was that a meow or?
It's a meow, yes.
Oh, I don't want to look, Lily. I don't
Is
want
that
to
a
look.
cat? A catapede?
I don't want to think about a catapede right now.
And as you guys kind of make your way around the corner to the central area, you're greeted with something special. It's just this strange little mass of a bunch of different cats' faces. With, once again, centipede-like legs sticking out of the bottom. There's 5 or 6 different cat faces molded into this.
A catapede.
And it just looks at you and just works its head quizzically and just goes, meow.
Well, hello. How tall is it? Like normal cat sized?
Oh god.
With the kind of twisted mess of it, it's probably fair to say it's about like 1.5 feet tall.
Alright, it's a chonky boy. Alright.
As I mentioned, this is just basically a bunch of cat faces with legs.
Huh. Aren't you an adorable little abomination?
Are you walking up to it?
I think he'll kneel down. He'll let it approach if it comes, but he won't get closer to it.
Alright. As you do so, once again, we have some more art coming in.
Oh god.
Show me the catapede.
The head at the center proceeds to pop up and out of its central body in order to move itself towards your hand as it's posted. And
No!
the spine of this creature
No.
No.
He's like that guy in Resident Evil 4.
No.
is, unsurprisingly, you guessed it, everyone, a centipede. And so it just kind of goes meow as it goes to try and get a pet or two out of you, Sewer King. Do you oblige this? As I believe it was called a cat in the box.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
I
God.
hate that.
That's
But
so horrible.
yes, he will pet it. He will pet it.
Just kind of leans into your pet and just kind of purrs.
It purrs.
It purrs.
Which one of it is purring?
All of them.
Okay.
But it'll just kind of lean into that happily for retracting its neck back down into the mass and just sort of continuing on its way past you guys.
Fascinating. Why centipedes? Everything is a centipede of some sort.
Yes, they're the most accessible.
Looks over at Thaddeus, just giving a very subtle look, like, I want to see what's going on in those labs really bad.
SK, I know you and I talked about breaking away, but I think we might need everyone for this.
It deflates a little, like, ugh. You think
Don't
that's
tell
the
me.
best?
Don't tell me you want to fight these things with just the two of us.
Who said anything about fighting? We would have been
Likely
silent
them.
as we would have been silent as mice. These things don't seem to be particularly aggressive.
Well, I still wouldn't want to get on their bad side, do you?
No, I'm not sure if I could face a centaur bear.
All right. Then you guys are approaching the tree itself. As you approach, and you see the sections of the tree fallen into the buildings, causing damage, you walk up. There seems to be a almost little metal pathway that comes out of the central chamber of the tree, going down to the bottom. As you sort of look at that and begin to walk up more so into the tree proper itself, you notice something. Just seemingly some sort of figure that seems to be just laying down, hunched against the main entrance archway of the tree. And as you walk up further, you can see the fallen body of a creature slumped and made mostly of vines. At this point, Anti is going to kind of walk forward, having noticed this, is going to kind of just slump down. This was my sibling.
Your sibling?
Affirmative.
Oh.
Seems they spoke the truth. That they, in fact, destroyed them.
Horrible. They could have been free from the mist if they had just listened or something.
Hold on, if they made the things, how did they not know about... You know. They're not keeping an eye on it either? It seems like they should be more knowledgeable about this sort of stuff than we are. Regardless, Anti, what would you have us do at this moment?
You all should enter the tree. See if there is information to be gleaned. Give me one moment. I must find their memories.
You guys can go ahead. I'll stay out here with Anti, just in case any centipedes crawl up on us.
I assure you this is not necessary, Tate Plantar.
I'd like to. If you'd have me.
That is agreeable.
Right. We'll give you two a moment then. Is everyone else ready to go inside?
As we will ever be, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
All right then. Kloven will be the first then to walk up to it and head inside.
All right. Alrighty. Give me 1 second. I'm moving stuff. Okay. So we're gonna go to the people going into the tree first. As you enter the tree, I believe, Sewer King, you are in fact the only one that entered the tree proper back home in the stocks.
Correct.
At least in the party. You notice that it is quite similar, filled with the same tech as the ones in the stocks, with what we all know as keyboards and screens and displays all over the facility. However, the screens and everything have been shattered and slashed, so that way they cannot be used anymore. As you sort of take a look around, Thaddeus, you notice that there's one screen faintly flickering.
I'm gonna look up and read it.
All right. Going over to it, there is a small keyboard with the standard English keyboard layout, and a screen that just simply displays a mostly blank screen, but with two fields to be filled. One, a username field, and one, a password field. However, you can see inside of the username field, there's the letter G.
Jillian.
You did say she'd leave her mark.
He never fails. Hey, Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Can I start racking my brain to try and guess what her password might be?
You may.
Ooh.
Give me, let's just say, a history check.
That is a 12.
12?
I promise I'm good at skills, people.
That's all right. Because her passwords have always been simple. Because we're in a world that doesn't use passwords. They don't need to be harshly encrypted like we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Cybersecurity isn't real.
Jillian would have failed a phishing test.
So true.
Oh, yeah.
So true. And you remember from one of these sort of machines you saw her use on one of your excursions out into the mist. She created profiles on some of them. And her password was always the same. It's your name.
Thaddeus is going to type his name into the console, and for a moment, anybody who's paying attention is going to see him smile, a bit of a shaky smile, and before he can really let it out, he drops one tear before he keeps digging in.
No.
As you press enter on the system, it says, "Welcome." And on the screen, there's only one file on it.
I'm opening it.
All right. You tap it with your fingers, having learned that touch screens exist. And
What were you hiding, Jillian?
the name of the file is For Your Eyes Only.
Well, I can only assume you meant me.
Are you telling everybody else to go away?
Thaddeus is going to stop for a moment. He realizes he was almost hunched over the screen, excited to see what was inside, before he stabilizes himself, straightens up, and looks to everyone and says, "I'm sorry, you'll all need to trust me with this one, but I need to see this by myself. This is what I came out here to find. Adamar.
Hmm.
It's proof that she's alive."
Now, I don't mean to put a damper on this.
No! Don't ruin this for me. She has to be alive. She wouldn't have gone to the mist if she was going to go out to die.
Thaddeus, this was 3 years ago, at least.
Who says she couldn't have kept pressing on?
No one
Kloven's
says
gonna
that.
put a hand on Adamar's shoulder. It's okay. We'll step out for a moment.
Fair enough.
I have to believe she's out there. And if not, she left me the keys to finish what she started. I'm not chasing a ghost, I'm chasing a future.
Yes.
And Thaddeus is going to turn around and he's going to press the file.
All right. You open it, and there is a large amount of text on the screen. Thaddeus, I knew you would find this. I know that nothing could truly ever stop you from the call of adventure. I only hope that you didn't come for my sake, as I don't plan on staying here very long. At the time of writing this, it's been a few months since I last saw you. This place, Kenril they called it, is more than I ever could have imagined. Been here a few weeks now, doing my best to understand their weird ways of the world. I couldn't dare try and find my way back to the stocks. They told me there was a lot more south and southwest of here. A floating city, a bustling metropolis? It all seems hard to believe. But one thing is for certain. These people seem to have technology far beyond anything that we could have ever dreamed to be able to accomplish back home. I think it's likely very dangerous, but also very promising. Got to find the answer. You should go back to the stocks, kid. I know you won't. You're my pride and joy, after all. And no pride and joy of mine would ever sit back while the world's mysteries are still up for grabs. I'll at least promise you this. I'll be back as soon as I figured it out. Love you. G.
Damn it, Jillian. You knew I wasn't going anywhere. I'm going to find you. I don't care if you figured it out or not. I have to know what happened to you. I'm coming. And that's a promise.
Alright. Then as we go back out to Anti. Tate. You see them just kind of hunched over. And they're almost tentacle-like vines and appendages start to reach out and look through the head area before you hear a click. The appendages retract and you see a small card in their, well, in what would be their hands. They just quickly say to you, I found them. They quickly take it, reach inside themselves, before you hear another click. Anti then goes completely limp themselves. The branches, the leaves, and almost everything shuffling to rest as they go unresponsive.
Wait, anti fully goes unresponsive as like
Correct.
after that click noise.
Mm-hmm.
Anti. Tate's gonna put his hand on what he can only assume to be a shoulder and tap him.
No response.
Do they breathe at all normally?
They do not.
You look like you knew what you were doing. Just, please wake up before the others come back, because I don't know how to explain this.
After a few minutes, We'll say that this is approximately when Thaddeus kicked the rest of them out. You see, they start to recompose themselves. And as they do so, they look back down to their sibling and look over to you, Tate, and over to the rest of you that seem to have come into this scene. It says, I advise that you look away. This may be unsettling to you mortals.
Mind you, we've seen many unsettling things today. One more can't do us any harm.
This is the least of our worries.
Understood. As they say this, you can see the leaves around their mouth begin to sort of unfurl and separate. As it does so, you can see teeth start to appear in their place. As extraordinarily unnaturally, you can see just this mass of a mouth extend out of that area of themselves. And they just open wider and wider and wider until it's nearly 2 feet wide. It leans down for leaping onto the limp body of their sibling and just absolutely devour it with all of their tendrils just stuffing the body into their mouth without a sense of grace and tact. Chomping noises can be heard as the viney presence goes further and further down their gullet, for it is gone completely. Anti replaces the leaves over their mouth, so they say, there, she has been reclaimed.
Won't be one to question your funeral rites, but if you pass, I am not eating you like that.
It would not be expected. After all, this is something that only we should do. You can see their red composite eyes shift and sort of realign to a softer orange color. Anti speaks up and says, L1-ANA is now a part of me, along with her memories. If you would like to speak to her, I would more than happy let her speak.
Is there anything you'd like us to ask her?
Only that which would satisfy your curiosity.
I mean, like, if you'd like for us to talk to her for you, I don't really know how this works.
Oh, that is not necessary. I can hear her speaking in my head at the present.
Oh. So, there was point in being hopeful, I guess, somewhat.
Correct, Tate Plantar. If the body was intact, then she could be saved. I am glad that she seems to be able to be saved.
Ooh. It's good to hear. Alright, well, yeah, we should probably ask them a few questions, if you'd be so kind.
She would be amicable. And you see them just kind of like take a moment, their head just sort of twitches back and forth a little bit before the voice speaks up again and says, Hello, I am Leanna. How can I assist you?
Well, hello, Leanna. I believe we had, a few questions regarding Kenril.
Of course. I would be happy to assist with any questions that you might have.
Where to begin? They seem to explain it in their own right, but I'd rather hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Why did they dismantle your tree?
They saw me as obsolete compared to their desire to experiment for humanity's future.
And did you agree with that assessment?
I did not agree with that assessment.
But they got rid of you anyway.
They did. Affirmative.
I'm sorry for that.
Then how is it they've been able to suppress the mist here?
Well, and she looks up. The mist is not fully suppressed. However, it is at an adequate level for testing. They did consult with me on that part at the very least. I was amicable to help with their inquiries.
And then they killed you.
Indeed. I was aware that that was a possibility, but my programming stated that I must help them.
Would it not be helping them to survive and continue your work?
My work is to assist them with their research.
And what exactly is their research?
Their research is to find a way to survive in the mists. To find a way to resist. Find a way to cure those that suffer from the mist. Have they been successful in my absence?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. Are you able to see using Anti's eyes?
Of course, we are one.
Well, if you observe, there is a certain amount of... I hesitate to say wildlife, since we're not in the wild, but... life? Of creatures. They seem... mist-free. But... though we're told that they can survive out there, we've yet to see it with our own eyes.
I also, in fact, see a man on one of the vines of the trees up there.
Hmm.
A man?
A winged man with horns and glasses.
Oh.
Of course.
The jig is up then, I suppose. And you look over to see Alafir, just sort of lounging, very, very lazily, one leg hanging off the tree. Says, "Well, it's so good to see you heeded my advice and finally showed up. I've
Now,
been
how... Sorry, go ahead.
I've been biding my time, waiting for you all, and frankly, I'm disappointed at how long I've had to wait. Did you enjoy your little tour? Any questions? Teacher's ready to help the students."
Now, how in the world did you get in here?
"I can fly, Sewer King."
We're in a dome.
"With plenty of cracks in it, I might add."
with cracks in it.
You can see the mist pouring out through that over there. Oh, can you get the... What was his name? Thaddeus, can you get him out here? I would like to talk with all of you.
Thaddeus opens the door right after he says that, leaning against the door frame and just... He's got a big smile on his face, but he's clearly been sobbing.
Oh, look at you all misty-eyed. Did you have a rough time in there?
The opposite, actually. I'm not here for your games right now. I just got the best news I've had in 10 years.
Is that so? What might that news be, perchance? Would you like to share with the group? After all, you seem so eager to kick everybody out of your little moment of self-discovery.
Thaddeus is going to pick himself up, stride towards the group, sling the gun off of his shoulders, put it into both of his arms. As he walks past all of them, he'll say, "Jillian's alive. I know it."
Who?
You know it? Did she
That
not
is
say
the-
so herself?
Yeah, that's great news.
And not only that, I know where she went.
That's fantastic. You managed to find a single person that's alive in this vast world. Wow, very good for you. Very proud of you.
I don't want to hear a single bit of it.
So
You have
rude.
no idea how important of a person she is. You have no idea what she's capable of. If she wanted to, if anyone could fix this whole mess, it would be her.
Oh, you seem to believe
So if
in
we
her
find
very
her-
much.
If we find her, we might be able to save everyone.
Now, as for you, sir, will you not come down? Talk to us face to face?
Oh, would you like that? Would you like me to do that?
I would very much like that.
Okay. Fair enough. He'll just float on down and sort of just be more so at eye level, but still kind of hanging off of something, but at eye level with you guys. That better?
No. Tremendously. Thank you, sir. Now, you led us here with the promise of answers.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Why are you still here?
Because it's fun to watch you guys scramble your way through the mists.
Did you find us
Those-
entertaining?
It is, very much. I can't tell you how much I've been dying for good entertainment, with being in this wretched world for centuries.
So
Well,
what now?
Right.
Well, I suppose you keep going. After all, there's more towns on this continent, more trees, more things to be done. Just wanted to give you that little bit of taste of adventure, taste of discovery, just to see how fucked up the world is. So that way you could know exactly how small you are.
Do you think it matters how small we are?
Mm,
You can break us that easily. I came here looking for answers. I think all of us did. And if your answer is just that we're nothing, we're insignificant, that we can't change anything, then to hell with your answer. We'll make our own. We'll find out what's wrong at the core of all this. We have the trees, we have the guardians, we have a plan. we at least have a lead. So what does it matter that one of us is small on our own? There's a lot of us, and a lot of heart, and a lot of motivation. So if you think that you can stop us just because you say we're small, because you show us that some places can be overrun, because you show us one problem that we can undo, that we have the power to fix, then you're a lot more short-sighted than someone with glasses should ever be.
Oh, you wound me. Such a pretty speech. Everyone give him a round of applause. Oh no.
Now, are you going to
just
keep
me?
playing facetious, or are you going to actually help us?
I am helping you. I think that should be pretty clear.
By just watching us?
I've done more for you than you could ever know. But
Do you?
oh no, go ahead, please. Sorry, I'm just getting a little bored by this conversation.
Yeah, listen, great. You know a lot more than we do,
Indeed.
and judging by the fact that you aren't exactly antagonistic to us, I mean, at least not physically. Do you think you'd be a bit more direct and just work with us? Save us all the trouble and get to what you think is the fun part sooner?
No, I don't think I will.
How kind of you.
I am, in fact, working for the organization that's trying to kill all of you. Or at least entertain itself.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
There's an
sorry, did I slip of a
organization?
tongue? Oh, well, something like that. I mean, you did hear what they called themselves, the Night Owls? The one that was at your town, the Planks, well, they did introduce
So
themselves
you
as the Night
are with
Owls.
them.
Yes.
Hold on. I get the feeling it's a bit more complicated than that. See, a man like you doesn't exactly do a job like that for people unless you get something out of it. And the fact that you aren't exactly, well, cracking the mist open in this town or summoning them does, they don't exactly know you're here right now, do they?
Well, something of the sort. I'm a bit of a free spirit. Now, as you can see, I'm a little bit less tentacled than some of the others.
Are you in trouble?
Am
Are
I
you working for them because you don't... Are you working for them because you can get something out of it, or are you working for them because you don't have a choice? So imagine towards the latter.
I don't feel necessary to answer that question.
Alright, well, don't be afraid to be honest anytime soon, though.
Fair enough. Any bit of information I do give you is more than you deserve.
We appreciate that. In our own... Looks back at the group in our own ways. So... Now that you have us here, now that we've come all the way out, what was it? Was it really just to get us to get moving? Were you expecting us to go further south than Kenrill, or
Southwest.
southwest?
Am I right?
South and southwest. Multiple towns on this continent.
Then which one's closer?
You can figure that out for yourself. Got lost in the mist. Oh, that would be so delicious.
We're not gonna get lost.
No? That's a shame.
It's not very entertaining if we die so soon, though.
Oh no. It wouldn't be. But... Okay. Well, I think I've entertained you folks enough. There's someone that will be impassioned to meet you. I think I'll make my way back to them. So that way you guys can have a little bit of an introduction, if that's agreeable.
Mark my
Hey.
words. Next time I see you, I want some real answers.
Oh, if you could survive, then absolutely.
You'd be surprised what a few people can do.
Well, if you live, I would love to see what you do. So, that'll be all for now. Ta! And he'll just start to fly away.
I hope our next visit is not so soon.
I'm gonna make all of you a promise. Right here and right now. Do I have everyone's attention?
Yeah.
All ears.
Undivided.
None of you are dying on my watch. We're all gonna make it. We're all going to find out what's at the bottom of this, come hell or high water. And as anyone here can tell you, as anyone who's ever been inside the walls of my tavern, of Jillian's tavern, can tell you, neither of us makes a promise lightly.
We'll hold you to that then, Thaddeus.
You can. And if I can't deliver, I expect whoever drops dead to haunt me for the rest of my days.
That's your way of saying you'd get lonely, yeah?
Was I really that transparent?
Just making sure.
It goes to you too, Adamar.
Of course.
You knew what you were getting into when you threw your hat in with me, don't you?
I like that fire in you.
I bet you haven't seen it for a long time.
No, indeed I haven't. Not since you first started making your journeys out with Jillian.
Well, with any luck, we'll be making a journey back with her too. Can't wait to see the look on the old man's face when we drag her back through the doors.
Of course. Well, one more stop, I suppose. You folks wanted to go to the labs?
That we did.
Let's try not to do anything that'll get us in trouble. Okay?
Right? Then you folks will start to make your way out of the residential area. Consulting on one of the maps on display there, you can see that the labs are kind of more so opposite the area that you initially started in, with the reception from Janine as well as the general little camp of the scientists. As you sort of continue along your way, you can see that the labs are, or at least the area that the labs should be, are a little bit more sunken and more filled with mist. Seems to be sort of just on a roughly knee height area around the ground as you proceed to kind of go down the hill towards the labs. As you all make your way down, you come to a set of steel doors. As you approach them, the doors open as if acknowledging your presence. A wall of mist emerges, just spills out into the area.
No wonder they told us not to go in there. They were keeping it all locked up.
Anti will speak up and just be like, "Allow me to go first. Just like
Please
we did
do.
through the mist." As you take your first step into the labs, you notice, in addition to the mist, there's about ankle-high water. Take your first steps into the labs, and it is pitch black. As the door closes behind you, all natural light fades. You are surrounded by nothing but darkness. After a brief moment, Anti summons a quick light spell. Give you all at least some room to see. However, the mist does block off much further than Anti's initial area. Hear a faint chittering in the distance. The sound of something moving through the water.
Mm-hmm.
The air also smells awful.
Yeah.
I think we should get out of the water.
Yeah. Seconded.
SK's gonna start looking for any sort of high ground.
Okay. You sort of look around and you notice that there's a bit of a railing that seems to be a small stairway up and to about 5 feet off the ground. That seems to kind of just continue on.
This way.
As you move forward, you can see the faint glow of something in the distance. As you make your way over to that, you see another small digital display, not unlike the one that was flickering inside of the tree itself.
Thaddeus is going to make a run for it.
As you do so, the ramp goes down and you find yourself back inside of the water, or the ankle-high water, to
Shit.
approach this.
Oh.
You hear the sound of plants' leaves shifting around a little bit, as well as the pitter-patter of small feet.
Thaddeus, come back to the stairs.
There's something down here.
Think so.
I know so. There's someone in here with us. Or something. It's not big. Keep your eyes peeled.
What do you do?
Thaddeus is going to start making it towards the stairs. He's going to unsheath the sword from his waist, and he's going to hold his rifle next to his chest in the other arm.
Okay. There's no way forward except through the water.
Thaddeus isn't afraid.
All right.
He's gonna go.
Do you go to the display?
Oh yeah.
All right. As you
I'm
approach the
going to.
Nantai will bring up behind you just to make sure that you are all mist-free. As you...
We're using the buddy system.
Below the display, you can see a small set of keys, but you notice it's slightly cut off. As you sort of lean closer and Antai's light shines upon it more, you can see that it's partially covered by a horseshoe crab shell.
What the?
And as you say what the, you can hear like a little sound of a small yawn. And the horseshoe crab shifts a bit, revealing this little creature.
A creature?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Aw.
wait, this one's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He just looks up at you and just goes,
Oh, goodness. This one's actually kind of cute. Is that like a little rat face?
it's technically a vole. Is
Oh.
the
Rodent adjacent. Got
yes.
it.
Mm-hmm.
SK is going to reach out and try and give it little ear scritchies.
It leans into them.
Oh! Well, you're not horrific at all, are you? I'm gonna try to pick it up.
Okay, make an animal handling check.
Oh my god. SK.
How about a 4?
Oh,
Hot
no. Hot 4.
Oh my god.
Bungle.
All right, so you kind of just pick it up, and the little centipede legs that it has going on just kind of start to skitter as it panics a little bit. It just
4?
quickly
No.
jumps itself out of the water, or out of your hands and into the water, and proceeds to start to swim away.
Oh, well. C'est la vie.
But the computer is yours to access. You can see, as you look closer to it, the files are not protected. There's no password or anything behind it. And the screen lights up brightly. You can see inside of it there's a list of what appear to be incomplete journal entries. Would you?
Anything look promising?
Thaddeus is going to scrounge, and you know what he's looking for, DM.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Done.
I'm gonna read you a few.
Oh.
Go for it.
Entry 2112-1. We have established the city of Kenril, and it is time to begin the experiments. Everyone is worried about the ethical dilemma of subjecting animals to this, and well, the animals are scared, but this is just as well for their good as it is for the good of humanity. We must not let the world fall to this mist. Sorry, little ones, but we must save the world. Entry 2115-73. It's been a few years since we started the experiments. We've been testing to see if there's any entity that is capable of resisting the corrupting influence of the mist. Jeremiah had the idea of testing different animals that appear to have natural immunity or resistance to strong toxins. Honey badgers seem to have lasted a long time, but ultimately were unable to stay strong. Testing continues. Entry 2118-14. That's it. It seems that centipedes are one of the solutions. Their natural defenses to cyanide has carried through against this misty substance. One has survived for 3 years in the mist and seems to be showing no sign of mental or physical decay. We shall continue the work, though I fear what this finding means for both our animals as well as the human race. Entry 2160-1. Mary used to keep a journal before being moved to a different team. I find it necessary to resume that work. Things have decayed a bit. Zhao has taken to injecting himself and his followers with centipede DNA. They seem to be more immune to mist toxins, but at what cost? My friends in Dintown seem to think that this is likely the way that things should be. Next progression of humanity. But I am not so sure. There's this one is particularly labeled at the end with just a little dash and a P. Entry 2165-42. Seems like I may be one of the last sane people left in this town. I fear what we have created. Some people begun splicing their bodies with the limbs of other animals. Bloodworth from Dintown fully endorses it. Says that it's in line with their findings on the resistant creature they've been working on for their efforts. Not sure how much longer I'll be safe here. E. Entry 2166 question mark. This may be my last message. I've heard that the town to the north is a safe place. If I can make it up there, then perhaps I can give my knowledge to the people up there and they can grow and prosper. It's worth more than this. Manfred ended up bleeding himself out while attempting to graft a centipede exoskeleton in place of his spine. It's too far. There's very few humans left, if you can call them that. E. Entry. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, that was an interruption from IRL.
You're good.
Keep going.
Entry 2170-17. Why am I still here? I can't leave those I care about. Hey, they killed the Guardian yesterday. In the name of scientific progress. We made her. And they killed her. I can't wait around and try and play the hero anymore. We have failed. E. That's the last entry.
Man, this place is a shit show.
I don't think we should stay here for too long.
Took the words out of my mouth, Tate.
This-
Sorry,
You
I
go
was gonna
first.
say, is there anything else we want to do here, or can we even afford to spend a night here?
I wouldn't trust a single person here as far as I could throw them. And as you know, I can't throw very well, Tate.
They did invite us to dinner, though, so
I
maybe
don't
with our
think I
new,
want-
at least with our new findings, we could address them more properly.
Kloven,
Yeah.
think about what I just read in these things. That is going to relay the information, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to know what these people had for dinner.
Why? What do you think they do?
Why do you think there's so few of them left?
That's a morbid assumption. I mean, we have food on us, right? Maybe could we afford to keep them off us with it?
We've got 2 more cities to hit up.
Whoa.
Thaddeus, you realize these are still people.
People? I understand. But
We're not executioners, all right? And by what right? I mean, like Jaina said, it's been 200 years. I mean, these people might not even be held accountable for what happened all those years ago. Maybe they might not know any better. Maybe they're the primitive ones, and we should be helping them.
You are far too kind, Tate.
Well, we did say, setting out, that we wanted to save as many people as we could find.
You're right. But they were cagey about Jillian. They were cagey about any information about this place.
And you're KG now.
You saw the things they made. You know the story of how they were made. I think I have every right to be cagey here. But if you all want to give it a shot, I'm not going to stop you.
I think the call comes down to Adamar. I mean, out of all of us, I think he'd make the best call on what we should be doing here with these people.
He is the one managing logistics, so. All right, guardsman, what do you think?
So be it that the weight falls on me, I suppose.
No, you do have the biggest stick up your ass. Should hold you stable.
Thank you, Thaddeus. If I may, I think we should get the hell out of these laboratories before having any detailed discussions. It smells awful here.
I agree.
I'm sorry, Sewer King. I know you wanted to experiment more, but
No, it's all right.
Hey, even SK likes a good smell from now and again. He uses my showers, after all.
as you start to turn around, you can hear that shifting of leaves has gotten closer. And the
Right, let's
scent.
walk and talk.
As you begin to make your way, the light that you have proceeds to reveal something. Water, you can see the petals of a flower and multiple branches in the dim dark. As a coarse and weak voice speaks up. You should not be here. It's not safe for humans here. And as
What do we see? Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I would say as you guys sort of come face to face with this, the light shining over it, you see something truly hideous.
Oh, goodness.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
It is a
Oh.
human body with antennae sticking out of it, attached to a centipede. But the human, where the head should be, sprouts a large flower. And inside of the flower, you can see multiple, essentially dissolved human forms just in the mix of the area.
Thaddeus has one moment of panic, and he looks for Jillian's face among them if he can find it.
Make a perception check. With disadvantage.
Fuck. 19!
Oh.
Okay. You do not see Jillian's face among them.
His heart races for a moment, and then he calms himself and pulls out the gun.
Can I also roll perception to see
Oh,
if
please.
there's like any clothes or name tags that match the names in the books? That's what I want to do. It's a 17.
Okay.
Like P.
Yeah, so there's no P, there's no Mary, none of the names in the the logs. See, there's no nickname or there's no name tags that seem to show any of them. So the creature just kind of looks at you and just says, "Leave, please."
We were just on our way out. And he'll sort of tap Thaddeus's arm, signal for him to lower it, and motion with his head towards the door where they came in.
Thaddeus is going to look at the creature one more time before he turns around and just say, "Do you want to be alive?"
We do. We must protect the experiments.
Then I'll leave you to it. They're all yours.
A different head kind of speaks up. Thank you.
Thaddeus is going to lower his gun and walk out.
Alright. You guys walk out. And as you do so, little critter scuttles through the door with you. The little volipede that you guys
Oh, the
saw
volipede.
earlier.
Oh,
But as it does, you can see it kind of run and scurry off in one direction, or it just kind of does a little quick jump, or you see it kind of tackle into one last little critter that I'm going to show you guys as they start sort of play fighting.
oh!
Oh my gosh, that is so cute.
Alright, this one's kind of cute too.
This one gets a pass. This one gets a pass.
This is
What is
also
this one, a gopherpede?
this is also a vole. It's just a different kind of
Oh my
amalgamation. But the
He doesn't have
volipede
the
and
armor.
the in this long vole, essentially
Long
are
vole.
just tussling with each other and having a good time.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So determined.
If they didn't have so many legs, I would almost consider them cute.
Maybe they
Maybe.
think you have too few legs.
That's
I
a
don't
good
want to
point.
think about
Well, is there anything you guys would like to discuss amongst each other?
that. Well,
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, even after all that.
Adamar.
Right.
Calls up to you.
Everything here seems to be docile. I don't understand their ways, but despite how strange things are here, they seem to be working for their best interests, whatever they may be.
They're not trying to get us like the Mist Wraiths, at least.
And to echo what the Sewer King said, we said we would try and save people. I don't know if these people need saving, but I think they could use another form of socialization.
You saying we send them back to the stocks?
Oh, I don't know if they'll want to leave, but I think we can at least trust that they mean no harm.
Alright. I'll trust your judgment on this one.
Jillian trusted their judgment for weeks too. From what you said.
You know, maybe somewhere along the way you learned how to stack the deck a bit too. It's a bit of an underhanded card to play here, Adamar.
Am I wrong?
No. I guess you're not.
Alright. You guys are gonna make your way back? To at least where Janine is, I should say.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. You want dinner?
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say, along the way there, something happens. As you hear this loud voice just absolutely rattle the facility. It says, Thalafir, where are they? I felt that presence. Was it in my zoo? What, you came from my zoo? Who messed with my toy box?
Yeah, it seems Thalafir continues to make friends.
We're enemies.
The voice is so loud. You feel it reverberate through your entire body as the roof of the dome of Kenril cracks and shatters as the animals are all whipped up into a frenzy and start running around. And as you look up, you all see an absolutely massive iris. The pupil is easily the size of the entire dome.
Oh, God.
It looks around frantically at everything inside before catching you all in its glance. It lingers as the brow furrows and the gaze narrows. And you hear that same voice speak up once again. You all? What are you doing outside of your playhouse?
Oh.
I don't remember giving you all permission to leave your playhouse.
Perhaps we can come to some sort of understanding.
No. You all know how many times it's been. I'm not in the mood for agreements or discussions. Go back.
Back to where exactly?
To your playhouse.
Yes, you keep saying that. I'm afraid I don't know what that is.
Where you came from, you imbecile.
Imbecile?
Right, not here. We'll be right on that.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we were already on our way.
Yes, it'll take us some time, though.
I don't trust you. As this happens, you see the eye sort of backs up and goes up into the mist. And as it does so, you begin to see the shape of a much larger body. But as you're processing whatever this is, your curiosity is replaced with the sight of a hand that is quickly beginning to make its way towards all of you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The hand
Oh, no.
equally sized to the eye in perspective. What do you do?
Oh,
Run.
okay.
Run.
Look at
We
it.
even outrun. Jeez. I'm gonna go ahead and bless everyone real quick.
Sounds good.
Yeah, level the second level bless.
All right. So, as the dome shatters through the glass, or as the hand shatters through the glass, it collides with some of the buildings in the area, and you see it pull back as it yells a blood-curdling, deafening scream of pain. It just says, "Pfft! You toys need to learn your lesson and your place. You think it's fair to have a dragon on your side? Well, I have one of my own."
What?
Well, then I think that sounds perfectly fair. We each have a dragon.
You see another hand opposite the one that hurt itself comes in, and as the clasped hand opens up in the sky, you can see a dark figure begin to move closer. Much smaller than the hand itself, though that's not much of a judge considering the hand is literally miles wide. It quickly picks up speed before landing 30 feet in front of the party. And there's one final thing to show you guys.
We're getting too many treats today.
You are getting too many treats, I know.
many treats.
Yeah, you
This is
absolute mad
incredible.
lad.
Day went so all out.
You see this.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I love animated.
You see a draconic form, but one of its arms is replaced with tentacles. And part of it is just kind of slacking off. You can see bones exposed. Inside of its hide, you can also see other faces similar to the mist wraiths that you've gotten used to. But at the center of its chest, you can see an open cavity with piercing mandibles that seem to be like covering the entrance of it. But from that entrance, you can also see arms and legs hanging out of it, presumably from a previous kill that it has done. Its tail unfurls to reveal a flower-like needle at the end of it. And as it looks at you, a large, white, misty iris gazes and looks at all of you before roaring loudly and standing its ground, ready to attack. And that is where we're going to end the session. Okay, get just.
Oh my
My
god.
God!
What's your question, SK?
Oh, does Mother Dearest have any sort of knee-jerk reaction to this thing?
You feel a pull towards that eye.
I thought so.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I got a question I'd like to ask too, DM, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does the dragon skill I 8 have any reaction to this thing?
No, I would say not.
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
Mhm.
But yes, that is the end of our session. I hope you all
boy.
enjoyed.
That was
Thank you
insane.
for the horrors.
Thank you, Lily.
So many horrors.
Thank you guys. I'm glad
Thank you, Dave.
you enjoyed all of these horrific creations that are actually all kind of nice deep down.
Yeah.
Oh, is letting the dragons docile too?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think next week is a boss fight.
I want to note that this has mist all over it, including mist for wings.
Oh
The
boy.
wings are made
Oh,
of mist.
You're right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Can't wait
Yeah.
to take chunks out of this guy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Lily, you outdid yourself this session, and so
Oh.
did Day. Thank you, Day.
Ugh. So much work went into this session. But yes, thank you guys. My voice is starting to give out a little bit, so I'm gonna.
Let's call it for the night.
Yes, we'll call it for the night. Thank you guys so much for enjoying. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you to Dave for the lovely art. And I am really excited to do the boss battle next session. So yeah,
Yeah.
with that, I think we'll call it there. And I hope everyone has a lovely night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.